All right, heading out on a walk. I've missed doing these. We will get to a trail soon. Be more exciting. Okay. All right, so I've never done this before. It's kind of weird. And but I think it'll be something different for me to do. I'm a customer service representative, and so that's I didn't think I'd still be doing this. It's been 5 years now. I'm still trying to figure out my career. Right before 2020, the whole lockdown situation, um, I was transitioning jobs. I was working at a school. I worked in the special needs area as a paraprofessional. I liked it. It was very fulfilling, but it was just minimum wage. I think everyone should work with special needs at one point in their life. I do have 2 kids, but they're grown. A young adult and one in high school. They have their own set of chronic health issues, and I've never had to deal with that as a kid. So I still am in awe of how they navigate through this life, especially in this day and age. With issues, my son, the younger one, more severe situation, but he has a handle on it. I love going through this trail. Today's my birthday, and I don't really care about celebrating birthdays for myself anyway. Love it for other people, but for me, it's just another day. But I only mention it because it blows my mind, but I am half a century. I'm turning 50 in a matter of minutes. All right, there I am. Uh, yeah, I'm not wrapping my brain around the fact that I'm as old as I am. I hear a quail. That's why I like coming out into this area. There's a lizard. I live in the desert, one of the desert states. I'm so sorry about my voice. It's just early. Not that early, but I haven't really done a lot of talking yet today. Look at that old mesquite tree. I'm sure it's a mesquite tree. It looks pretty cool though. Looks like the spooky old tree from Dr. Seuss, doesn't it? um, so yeah, switching my job because it wasn't paying well. Definitely very fulfilling. The work I do now is okay. Uh, it was just I was planning on probably going back to school with this company I work with. They have the tuition reimbursement, and so then it paid more, and I knew there was opportunities to advance, but I knew it wasn't going to be my career choice, just stepping stone. But 5 years later, I'm still there, and I am still there because I have been promoted and moved. I have to move around, or I get bored. So I've been in different departments, but this last department I've been for a full 2 years now. And there's really nowhere else to go up in it. I don't want to be a team leader. I I want to step into me, and I'm more of a creative. I just put that on hold, when you're a mom and you're busy, you have a family, um, you have your partner, and it's easy to forget about yourself. I think a lot of us adults do that. Um, Sometimes it could just be the career that causes it, but I mean, for me, just being always there for my family. Let me keep going. I usually don't take breaks, but I needed to think and get in the shade for a second. Um, yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out what I want to stick with. About 3 years ago, that's when I started to feel the burnout. I didn't know that's what I was feeling, but I mean, there was some anxiety creeping up, and I've dealt with anxiety in the past and pretty much overcome it. But when it was coming back up after years and years of having it under control and just feeling exhausted and tired, I put in a request to cut my hours. And that took, for me to get that granted, it took like another 6 months. So that was kind of torture. And just shaving off the hour and a half for me was such a huge difference for me to not hit that ceiling, hit my max. Um, I'm talking to people all day, but I'm a quiet person. So I'm probably an introvert. But that was hard. And just, you're everyone, I get it, everyone has their bad days, but when you're doing customer service, eh, it's hard. Just like other professions where you got to deal with the public, in medicine, and I'm sure nursing is crazy. That is something I was thinking about since I've done a lot of research for my kids' issues and being able to actually take care of some medical things that nursing respite could do, but I did it myself just to make sure there were no issues. So I thought about it and I was like, no, no way. That's too stressful. I need to do something that's going to make me not just fulfilled, but feel happy. And so I was chilling, got the cut hours, and I'd be turning on YouTube and looking at creatives. And I'm just like, oh, that looks like so satisfying and fun. I was into the fluid art videos for a while. I even went and bought all the stuff to try it out. And I hear bees. Yeah, there's a bunch of flowers in this tree here. And the bees are buzzing. That's me getting distracted. I am going to sit down and actually ground myself and take my shoes off. I think this is a good spot. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so grab my water. All right. So, gosh, I don't even know where I left off. Let me think here. Oh, yeah. So I was getting very intrigued with fluid art, acrylic fluid art, and I was looking at so many videos, and I was going online, I was looking at websites and techniques. I bought me a couple small canvases and got my hand in trying it out. Um, there's a lot of prep work in that. You're mixing the glue with the paint to get the right viscosity, is that how you say it? And that in itself, I feel like that definitely takes way more time than actually making the art. So I did that. I even recorded it because I'm like, I think I'm going to do this. And so I'm going to document it. So I did it a couple of times and then I didn't do it anymore. I was disappointed in myself because I was like, I don't think I have the patience for the setup. And so then I saw polymer clay. Like, ooh, what is this? I never heard of polymer clay. Heard of all kinds of sculpting and pottery and things like that, but polymer clay. So I went down the rabbit hole on that, and that got me. And so I got some in-store Michael's brand and played around, and I realized that was very satisfying because I'm using my hands. And if I can do something creative and use my hands, that is a stress reliever right there. That is what I needed. And I dove right in. I started, you know, learning things, learning techniques, just being amazed by the different polymer clay artists out there on YouTube. Um, and I started accumulating more things. And I said, this is really fun. I'm definitely going to do this as my hobby going forward. I've done drawing and things when I was younger. I liked painting on wood. This was different, and I loved it. The whole process, creating and then baking it, even sanding and buffing. I'd rather do that than varnish, but I'm still playing around with that. But I have everything I need. I've got all of the tools. I spent all the money, and I said, someone told me I could sell this stuff I was making, jewelry, like pendants, earrings. And so I was like, yeah, let me actually do this. And I was about ready to make a website, but something kicked me in the butt. Like I started getting depressive symptoms, and like I always had some little bit of depression in the background, but this was different because I'd get emotional for no reason, cry. I don't cry. I was becoming uninterested in my polymer clay. I had my whole setup, and um, I I thought I better see a therapist. I had seen a therapist a couple years back. I went this time, and I'm not someone who likes to take meds, and I did the other things that I thought would help naturally, and um, I couldn't sleep and things like that. So I got on Wellbutrin for a little bit, and I did this group therapy because I was trying to get to a therapist. I never actually got to a therapist, but we did the group therapy for depression, and that was okay. But I started taking this mineral, I guess you call it resin. Like, so August, I started taking the medication, and by March, after being on this, or not being on it, but after taking this resin, man, something different happened. Like, I was getting clear headed. I felt leveled out, my mood. I didn't feel that heaviness anymore. And I said, let me wean off of this Wellbutrin. My phone, the camera turned off right in the middle of me talking. Kind of annoying. Okay, so this resin I've been taking now for a year is called Shilajit, and that really has, I think it's leveled my hormones better. My cycles are better. I don't have depression anymore. I still have my issues with sleeping. That's that's been my whole life. There's still probably something there I need to look at in regards to not getting enough sleep. That's why I have this permanent dark circles. Oh, let me see if I can get this video here. Sorry, dude. But look at that. Here, let's take a look-see. Oh, wow. I don't know how many feet. This must be like 30 feet. With all those holes from the birds. But I don't know how it's still standing. Look at this on the bottom. A lot of quail making noise out here. Oh, look, there's some quail. There's one going down the middle there. They're all hanging out. There they go. Sorry to scare you guys. Anyway, just to finish off what I said before. Oh, look how pretty that is. Okay, I need to finish my rambling. Now, I could use more energy, and that's me. I need to adjust my sleeping, I think. I've been a night owl my whole life, and if I didn't work this customer service job, I'd be more inclined to get up earlier and do my walks and do all this stuff so that it helps me wake up and energize me, and then work. But I'm not motivated to do that when I know I got to do the customer service job. Look at all the flowering on that. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted. Let's take a look at this real quick. Oh, I heard some quail escaping a little spot. Look at that. See if I can zoom in on that. Those flowers right there. Again, sorry about my camera work. I'm not the best videographer. Okay. Cool. Okay. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to try to keep doing vlogs. I am going to go ahead and post this because I turned 50 today. I want to do something different with my life. This is definitely different. I'm a little weird about putting myself out there. Barely go on Facebook, only to catch up with other family members and maybe see what other friends are doing. But I'm a loner, so I don't even hang out with people. And I'm fine with it. I realize after you talk all day to customers, you kind of don't want to talk to anybody after that. So I use these last few years to find myself, to figure out what I want in life. It's getting loud because I'm getting closer to the road. But man, look at all these flowering trees. Pretty. All right, I'm gonna stop for now. Maybe I'll hop back on before I wrap things up for this vlog. I need to actually do a real walk. I'm just kind of walking around. I'm not actually getting my cardio up, which is what I want to do. If you are tuning in, I appreciate it. If you feel that this has been kind of nice to hear, because maybe you're in a similar position where you're trying to figure out where you want your life to go, then maybe this vlog is for you. We'll see what I end up coming up with my creativity. Maybe it ends up being creating abundance for me. That's what I'm hoping for. All right. See ya.